You too. Welcome back to my spiritual experience with your host, myself, Brother Sadiqullah. Today, I want to talk more about as you know, this show is all about everyday spirituality. And for those who are aware and are conscious, there has been a algorithm or a certain topic that has been consistently going through my feed and a couple of other people who I know who have seen this one video about simping, Mhm. Right? About the young lady who mentions how she worked a dude who came along and attempted to be a stepfather to her and her children, and that she considered him to be a simp for accepting her and her three children. And so there has been a lot of conversation about it. And I want to share. I had a conversation. I had several conversations generationally, of course, over the holidays. There was probably three generations in the house, which is I think a good thing. But we had a good couple of conversations about all of this, and it just made me realize a lot. And I wanted to talk about what I know and what I can share and what I feel like I should share in relation to this subject of simping, right? Like I said, grew up in the 70s and 80s. And I'm going to tell you, I grew up in a community of Black love. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Um, and I grew up in a community of Black love where there was real community, what they call common unity, where there is, the older women in the community look out for you like your mom or like your grandmom or a great auntie or somebody, familial, somebody that's family, and the whole community was like that. We had our issues, of course, because this is America and we are the subjects of an American experiment, right? We lived in places called the projects. These were literal projects. These are things that have been done to us, socially engineered programs to um, determine an outcome, to achieve a certain goal. So, what I'm noticing in these conversations about simping, the broken home, stepfathers, loose mothers, single mothers, all of these derogatory and negative things that are happening in our community. They're becoming like mainstream topics because social media seems to be more important in the times that we live in, in such a more a larger magnitude than CNN and ABC, et cetera, anymore. And so when you look on the internet and you look into the Black spaces, that is a consistent topic, right? The value of our women, the value of our men, the worth of our women, the worth of our men. And so for me, having studied all of these different aspects of how we got here, spiritual relationships, spirituality, the different spiritual practices that my people and the American culture seems to frequent, seems to promote, or that are dominant in the cultures, in the nation. Yeah, I think I have a different perspective than the average citizen, definitely than the average Black man, I believe. And I want to share it. I want to share it because I think it's important. And I think that we have to look at these things extremely critically, because what has happened to us socially has been detrimental, extremely detrimental. And the fact that it has shows up in how our communities are to this very day, at this very moment, from the music that we listen to, the way our youth run around in the streets, how misguided, uh, you know, All of our youth are. That is the prime example of how far and how off track we've gotten living in America under the American rule, right? I feel like we're at a time of transformation and a time where things can change and things and possibilities are open, and that we have opportunities to create different outcomes for our lives, for our families, our friends, our community, the nation, and the world. Um, I am one soul who has no doubt about why I am here. And so now I'm going to talk about it from a spiritual perspective because I consider myself a super simp. Yeah, I am a super simp. And I'm going to explain that very, very, very intricately, inshallah. Wow. So the idea of a simp is the guy who comes along and sacrifices himself and his goals and his intentions and his purpose for being alive for a pretty woman, or for the opportunity to be in the presence of a pretty woman, or for the opportunity to bid a pretty woman, right? Um, and you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So who's to say what that pretty woman, the standard of that is? But my point is, that is considered a simp, and to the extent that it goes beyond that type of guy to those who even marry. If a man is marrying a woman who has children by another man, you are considered a simp. And to me, that is a sad scenario. Now, I was watching this cat named Anton Daniels, and I think he's from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. And I think what Anton was saying, I kind of agree with. He was saying, like, if you're a single man and you don't have children and you're getting into a relationship with a single mother who has children, then that is something to think twice about. Now, I don't disagree with that by any measure. I think every man, every young man would like to have his own family and to have his own lineage and to see his own seed birthed from his wife. And so I believe that is a valid perspective to have. Shout out to Anton Daniels. But I also recognize, because of who I am, right? I am here because I feel like my purpose first I'll explain. I feel like my purpose on this planet. Like one day I asked the Creator through prayer and meditation why I'm here. And he told me that I am here to help educate the generations beneath me about the things that happened to our generations so as to release them from the programming and to show them a clear picture of what they're dealing with so that they can overcome it, possibly even break all of the chains in relation to it. And so that's why I'm here. And so as I see this battle going on the internet, on all of these shows, there are people whose entire show is about dissing black women. And there are women who have entire shows about dissing black men. And because whether, we want to acknowledge it, recognize it, state it, accept it or not, because we are really like a temperature for the culture, you see it extending outside of the black community into the fullness of the nation's communities, right? Even outside of this country, you can see the pop the balloon stuff on Africa, and the same attitudes and energies and mentalities are being spread across the world, just as the American ideals and westernized mentalities are spread across the world, et cetera, et cetera. So are these. So us being on the inside of this nation that the globe watches, American black people are damn near under a microscope and the main focus of this dysfunctional, degenerate perspective that, oh, women don't need men, men don't need women. And so I have to give a synopsis or perspective of what I've seen through my life, right? In the 70s, like I said, in the 80s, black love. Okay. Had our problems. There was heroin, there was, cocaine, whatever. You had a few alcoholics or whatever, but the majority of our people were healthy mentally and physically. And so as the progression of time through my age, in 83, crack cocaine came about, right? Crack cocaine was we know, like I said, the Rick Ross story. We know the COINTELPRO. We know the CIA. We know Iran-Contra scandal. All of these things are related to crack cocaine. So if you want to do the research, you're definitely suggested to go and do it. This was a social engineering program. If you put crack cocaine in a community where you've already socially engineered through your welfare system the dynamic of the home being separated, right? We've all heard the stories about, you know, if your mom was getting welfare in the 80s or the 70s or whatever, then they would send a social worker to your house to make sure that there was no man there supporting your mom, and that the only money that she was getting was coming through the state. And if there was a man there, your father, her boyfriend, a sign of a man being in the home, then her assistance from the state would be cut off. Okay. So that is a foundational reality of part of the perspective of what I'm explaining when I talk about what happened in the 80s with the crack cocaine thing, right? You already had the issue of the social worker coming to the house, making sure there was no man there. So there is the no father in the home being supported governmentally, and not influenced and enforced governmentally, so that the mother and the children can have some type of financial support, food stamps, whatever, Section 8, whatever. And so that's a reality that is a part of the dynamic of the dysfunction of a black family in America, right? So you're in a community, you're in a nation that does not motivate or support black intelligence, okay? Black political action or wisdom, right? This is a country that only supports black entertainment, sports, football, basketball, baseball, track and field, rapping, singing, dancing, acting, right? These are the things that have been promoted as successful aspirations for Black America. And so, of course, that is a very, 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 very small amount of people who attain to these heights, right? You don't know personally in your own family, 6, 7 actors, basketball players, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so for that, this form of social engineering that gears you towards these examples of what you can attain to. You don't hear in the communities, in the schools, and in any of the rural, in any of the urban areas of America, kids talking about, I want to be a scientist, or I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be someone who understands civic law so I can change things in my community, or the other aspects of community building. Okay, so we've been trained not to study warfare, politics, finance, family organization. And so with the social engineering and organization of this country, us being the last to know and the first to be fired, the first, last hired, first fired, all of this, right? So with all of these social dynamics that keep the black man in a position of necessary struggle, right? It makes the woman look at her black man as though he cannot attain, as though he's not capable. And in many ways, that's true. It's been the training, as I say. If you go look through history, you can see how we got here. And it's almost like we're perpetuating, it's not almost, it's exactly what we're doing. We're perpetuating our own demise. We're destroying each other by saying, oh, she a hoe, oh, he ain't shit, oh, he ain't got no power, oh, the white man is a man and you ain't no man, and all of these things that we're doing and saying to each other that are destroying ourselves. These things are destroying the confidence of men and women, and it's destroying our trust and support of one another, and it is socially engineered to do so. There are programs that promote our women to go to school and to promote them to have financial support in so many ways for business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the limit on these programs for men is pretty obvious. I mean, it's kind of common knowledge, but the fact of the matter is, this issue is not just in the black community. It is concentrated in the black community. We are reaching into one or two generations beyond where I am now, 2024. One or two generations, we're going to be like almost extinct. We'll be like chocolate chips in a cookie, in a cheap cookie, because they're few and far between. So that's what's going to happen to Black America if we continue, with our channels that's getting us paid because we talking bad on black women and we get 1 million views, or we talking bad on black men and we get 1 million views. If we don't begin to understand and look at how we got here, why black women act the way they do, why black men act the way they do, then we have no chance of solving the problem. And if you've given up on solving the problem, then you've accepted your ultimate demise. And so, because of who I am and why I'm here and why I believe I'm on this planet, there is no way that I could accept that without saying what I believe. And I believe this is being done to us. And I think if we don't begin to pay attention to it and we just keep perpetuating, like I said, we'll be out of here. We'll be out of here. Our children already, the children of this generation, they're not being born out of love. They're being born out of lust, out of some other stuff than love. They're not being born out of love. They don't even have love songs. They don't speak of compassion and deep emotional connection to a woman or to a man anymore. That has been socialized out of them because now you are a lame, you are a square. That is the weaker human being in these times, right? One who expresses love or shares their concern about not having love or wanting love. These things are so human, and we're being trained out of our own humanity. And so I felt like it was necessary for me to say a thing or two about it. And I see that I must be considered a super simp. That's why I say this. I'm making this video because I must be considered a super simp, because if the simp is the one who comes to save the hoe or save the single mom with, multiple baby fathers, or however, I've done it more than once. Okay. I've been married to 2 women who have multiple baby fathers and they have children. And let me say, I accept that title, but I'm going to redefine what a simp is. To me, if you really want to know what the heart of that kind of a man is, he is a saint. His intention is to help. Okay. My intention was to help. I see a situation where I believe my input, my insight, my wisdom, my education, my character, my being, my presence could be of a benefit. Okay. That's my stance on why I became a stepfather, right? And so that extends far beyond just being a stepfather for me personally. I am here because my intention is to help all of my people first and the world at large. The goal that I am here for is to help these children realize that they have natural gifts and talents, and to create a foundation and a supportive community around nurturing those gifts. Because I believe that the children that come to this earth are part of a plan that the creator has, that when they reach their fullest potential and they pull out of themselves the things that are naturally in them, that were placed in them from spirit before they got here, then we'll start to see transformative things created from these people, from these children. And so that's one of my ideas. And so compassion and love are the motivating intentions behind that, right? Looking at how our people, how my people got in the situation that we're in, understanding that, studying that, recognizing that the only way we're going to get out of the situation is by educating the youth so that they can continue to grow up with knowledge and wisdom that will help them to transform from a different perspective than that which I have now, or that which my generations in the past utilized to get us where we are today. There will take some new education and new formatting of thinking to get us forward. And so, you know, it's kind of sad to see your people destroying themselves so unwittingly. Some of them I'd say may be witting. Some of them may definitely know what they're doing. It may be intentional, and it may be, you know, hey, I'm getting paid. Let's ride the bandwagon. You know, I'm on the team just long as I get a check. That is possible. But I honestly believe it's due to ignorance. And so when you see your black man out here on the street, yeah, I grew up being a black man. I've watched black men my whole life. I know black men fucked up. We got a lot of fucked up issues. We have some problems. In fact, we came with an equation the other day in this conversation with my family about the ratio of healthy black men versus unhealthy black men. And I think it's a pretty high number. You know, I said to be honest, I think the ratio is like maybe 80-20. You know, when I was growing up, I figured it was 50-50, right? Because I seen cats just lost in the matrix doing their thing because they trying to get it however they got to get it. And, you know, we can make excuses for them, but you still got a choice on the effects that you have in this world, right? You don't have to sell crack. Okay. I grew up in the crack era. I didn't sell crack in no, major way. I sold a few pieces of crack, but I also saw what it did to the community. And so when you see what it does to the community, you see your people falling apart and the families falling apart, you have to have a long range view. What is this going to lead to? Oh, I can't do this. This going to do something to my soul. This going to do something to my spirit to keep partaking beneficially from somebody else's demise. And I'm watching it go down and I'm going to act like I don't know. So yeah, I know a lot of cats who, in my opinion, are fucked up. Black men who are fucked up. But the shock of the century for black men and men in general, probably in the last 3 to 4 years, is how terribly it's a total shock. I'm telling you, most of the men that I know jaw on the floor about the things that these women say and do, and just get on YouTube or whatever other social media and express. They say things that shock the heart because we grew up and we were taught that girls are sugar and spice and everything nice, and then they get on the internet and they tell you, no, we ain't. And they tell you in some of the most crazy and creative ways, and it just breaks your heart and it makes you sad, because the virtue of the woman is how our children will be raised. And so if there is no standard for our people anymore, and we just gonna diss each other because of it, we're going to lose. Okay, you see the alcoholic, you see the dope fiend, you see the jack boy, you see the drill rappers, you see all of these things that are detriments to our community, and all we gonna do is keep pointing it out and negatively, announcing, ooh, she ain't shit, ooh, he ain't shit, ooh, they negative, ooh, they this, ooh, they that, ooh, they this. And we like the society's cheerleaders for our own demise, man. And it's annoying to me, because it's like we're so lost that we don't realize this has been done to us. And instead of trying to fix it, figure it out, have compassion, understand that, look, man, This was done, bro. She ain't got no mama. She didn't have no mama. Her mama was 15 when she had her. Her mama was motherfucking 12 when she had her. You know what I'm saying? It's shit like this that's going on in our generations. And so no, we can't, we can't always fix everybody. We can't save everybody. That's a given. But why would you want to be one who perpetuates the demise of your people and announce it to the world and brag on it and post videos and get paid from it and love it and thinking you winning? You not winning. You're not winning, bro. Young lady, whoever you are not winning by destroying your people, by promoting all of the flaws and the characters of every man you ever known, and dudes, y'all doing the same thing about every woman you ever known. And some of y'all are getting on here telling your own business about all of the wrong and the lost decisions you've made because it gets you views, right? It gets you in the algorithm, people talking about you, but it's not good. It's not righteous. It's not going to be to your benefit. And those who move in relation to the things that you're saying that are negative, it may even have some effect on you because people are reacting from things that you are pushing forward. So we got to be way more conscious about the things we say, do, how we promoting ideas, like the thing, oh yeah, black men ain't shit, black women ain't shit, oh yeah, I'm a passport, bro. All of that's all fine. Okay, I hear you. We all fed up. We're all tired. We all lost. But recognize that we're all lost, okay? And it was done to you. It was intentionally done to you and your people so that you remain lost. And now you're perpetuating it by getting on here saying, she ain't this, she ain't that, she ain't this. My mama did this, my sister did this, my brother did this, my ex did this. Okay, all that's probably true. I'm not saying it's not, because we are a destroyed people. We are the wretched of the earth. Okay, and so it takes some love, it takes some compassion to even attempt to fix us, right? So a stepfather is going in based on love and compassion, unless he a weak ass dude and just needs some woman to live off of. And I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about the one who is moving in compassion and love and hopes to help heal something in this household, thereby our community, thereby our world. Okay? So y'all calling them simps, but they saints. And it's sad because we are so trapped in the matrix that we don't even know the value of these things anymore. And everything that the society says is, y'all just get on here and start promoting. He is simp because he tried to take care of children. And what do all the religious say? To help the orphans, right? If there is a child who has no father, is that some semblance of an orphan? But y'all don't see him as a saint. Y'all see him as a sucker, as a loser, as a lost dumbass. And this is terrible because our community need men like that at a desperate rate. And if we're going to have women who have multiple fathers to their children being those who call these men simps, we are, oh my God, it's like, damn, is it over for us? Is it over for us? Because who could imagine a man wanting to put himself on the line and risk his livelihood, his time, his money, his et cetera, trying to help someone who does not respect him, who does not appreciate him, who looks at him like he a sucker? He come to help you. He come to love you, but he a sucker. He a simple. He a mark. He's a buster. He's a loser. He's a halfway. He's a dumbass. He's all these negative things, but you the one need to help. It's sad. It's sad because we are, as a people, we have to correct these things. We have to fix them. We have to look at them. We have to become critical, and we got to stop being goddamn puppets. Every time some new subject come up, we the ones promoting it. Anytime you see some black person going through some shit, we the first ones promoting it. We the first one making memes. 24 hours, you got 12 memes about Diddy, about R. Kelly, about anybody who you find on the news, black, famous, that we may all know about. As soon as something negative is promoted about them, you find black people shooting that shit across the internet at laser speed. Okay, laughing, jokes, all of the comedy because we're the entertainment for America. We have no intellect to recognize how we're going to transform this society. Some of us do, but we're few and far between. And without support and without us coming together and unifying and doing a thing that is going to be transformative for us, we're going to suffer. We're going to continue to suffer. My heart going to continue to be broken because I see my people falling by the wayside, falling away from all of what is righteous, falling away from all of what is good. All y'all care about what is cool, what is trending, what is funny, clown asses. Anyway, sorry, love you. A little bit of a rant, but I'm a simp. I'm a simp. I am a serious investor in my people. That's what the kind of simp I am. I am a spiritual simp. I am a serious investor in my people. And that's what those men are that y'all calling simps who try to come be stepfathers to y'all loose ass women, but y'all want to disrespect them. So not to call you a loose ass woman, but it's becoming highly offensive when that saint try to come be in your life and you call him this and that and you disrespecting and you clowning. It's sad because how many opportunities and options will you have for help in your life? Ignorant ass, tough ass. So, I take that, I guess, personal because I've been a stepfather, but the intentions are so intended for what is right. But that's the world, that's the world we live in. Anytime you got a good heart and a good soul, you have to know that going in, helping anybody may be a slight cost to you. Just that's a factor. That's the reality because your heart is not everyone else's heart. And you may assume it would be accepted or taken in good gesture, but often your kindness is taken for weakness, as this latest video that's going viral so elegantly and obviously and disgustingly exemplifies. One thing I will say about those saints, those souls, okay? Not even in just relationships, not even the simps, not even the, souls in service of our people, not even those guys, right? But souls who care for people and feel abused on the other side, either way, right? Woman, man, it does not matter. We all do this. I'm gonna be honest. Ladies, I know it probably happens to you way more than it does the example that we're getting on this, this feed. These are all tools designed to make us push each other further away from each other. So I've long known men ain't shit. So I don't argue that. No. I don't argue that. Men ain't shit. Most men ain't shit. The hurt and the heartbreak is that I'm finding out so many of my sisters ain't shit. That's the heartbreak. And yes, I definitely believe that so many more women have been abused by men, ignorant asses, arrogant asses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But point being, all of it is intended for us to be divided. A house divided can never win. And here we are, exemplifying our losing strategies, bragging about them, posting them, sending them across the internet, sending them across the universe, let the whole world partake of our demise, and we just advertise it. So call me Super Simp of the Century because I love my people. I want to save all of us. I want to save my children. I want to save all of the children, all of the single mothers. I want to save all these lost ass dudes who so caught up in their gangster that they forgot about their spiritual. Y'all cats better get it together because time is far, far, far short. And I don't know that we have time for, God knows best. You know what I mean? But if you ain't got your spiritual balance by now, man, you better, oh my God, I feel sorry for you because we're at such a loss. And then this TV is showing like we're not getting it. Like we're not getting where we're supposed to be getting if we're just constantly dogging each other. Oh, she ain't shit. He ain't shit. All black people ain't shit. Yeah. Remember, you're the news for the world and all things lead to spirit. So Dogging the next person is not going to help you win. You need to look at how they got there. You need to look at how we got there and have more compassion for your people. That's my opinion. That's my thought. So that's what I wanted to say in this video today. It's been a minute and I needed to get on here because this whole conversation came up again at the family gathering. And so I felt the necessity to say something about it. And I feel like we all need to say something about it. I feel like it needs to be like I said, brought into the open because this is a spirit of division and it's plaguing our people and it's going to end in our own, like I said, demise. You know, you can't put but so much milk in the coffee before it ain't even brown no more. So, all right, I love you. One love.